it's Liz from Old Stables Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me again today for another The Spot Challenge. And this week we have a colour challenge, and it is Crumb Cake, Merry Mallow, Bumblebee and a metallic. We're allowed to add whichever metallic we want. So I'm going to add two. This is the first one that I have made, and I'm going to replicate this, preferably without the fluff on it, but using a different metallic. So this is Merry Mallow, one of the brushed metal sheets, which are in the August-December catalogue. It comes in a pack with 3 shades of metallic. Then I've got the Love of Leaves stamp set and bundle for the stamping and the die cutting, and I've got gold embossing here, which all comes together. Tiny strip of the brushed metallic there. Do not worry, I gutted my metallic, and you will see that when we come to make my alternative version. So to get this effect, let me show you what I did. Now, here's a confession. In the UK, well, in Europe generally at the moment, we can't get the re-inkers for the new in colours. It's not easy to get any re-inkers at the moment because of an issue with German customs. Long story, but it's been going on for over a year. It's getting better. We're getting more things through. The trouble is, every time, or whenever, I say every time, it hardly ever happens, if Stampin' Up changes supplier, we have to go through the customs checks again. So, hey-ho, happy day. So, I have got here a wet wipe that I've just folded up, and I have added some dots of crumb cake, Merry Mallow, and in my case, crushed curry as a replacement for the Bumblebee. You could use Mango Melody, and I've just popped them onto the wet wipe, and they kind of just soak in, but you get that lovely mottled effect. So let me grab my card and start doing some stamping, and I will show you what I mean. So I've got my stamp already mounted up, and I can ink it up and just stamp, and you get this lovely mottled effect. Every time you use it, you will get a different effect, because obviously it's moving around. You're not going into the same exact same area every time. And I'm going to use this leaf as well, except I've got it on a block that doesn't fit into the thing. Let me grab a thing. Is a technical phrase. You do understand that, don't you? Stamp case. That's what I'm looking to say. So let's grab a silicone mat instead, and I need to make sure my end is inked as well. Now, you can keep those going for quite a while. Put them in a stamp case or a sealed bag, so a Ziploc bag, something like that, and they will keep moist for a reasonable amount of time. I've had them going for, a week plus. They're probably not particularly wholesome a week after you've done them, but, they will. So that is my stamping done, and as I say, you get this lovely mottled effect. Now, I've already die cut one of these because I need 2. So let me grab my cut and emboss machine and get this cut for you. Actually, if I go that way, you're probably going to be able to see better. Apart from the fact the handle's now the wrong way round. That's fine. I used to, have a brain. I have just taken delivery of a really exciting product. It's the magnetic cutting plate. This is all magnetic. It's quite heavy. I mean, this is the magnet. It's self-healing. You can sort of see her lumpy, bumpy bits as you use it, but it's fine. So let me grab my dies. Now, because this is the magnetic plate, they're going to stay in place. And because it's all magnetic, they're not going to jump around. Because if you remember our old magnetic plate, if you put a small die down in particular, it would sort of, you know, do this. Not with this one. No. All I would say is you do need to move your dies around, so don't just use them in the middle. Cover the whole area. Because it's a self-healing cutting surface, so you don't want to overuse one area and not use the other. But also it helps keep all the plates flat, because otherwise you may find that things start to bend a bit. So the more you can move things around, the better, because you are putting quite a lot of pressure onto both the magnetic plate and also your top cutting plate. So this is a number 5 plate, so all our plates are now numbered, and it replaces a number 3 in your sandwich. So you put it down first, then you put a number 3 on top of it, and then you run it through, and it comes, I might as well show you this now because I'll lose it. It comes with an instruction sheet in all of our languages except Dutch. Poor Dutch, they never get anything in their language. Anyway, so you go 1, 2, 5, 3 instead of 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, so those are all in place. Let me introduce the cutting plate to the roller. And everything has cut beautifully. So let me just grab everything and take the plate off. And take this off. And it does, you know, it pushes the die into the cutting plate, so you do have to kind of use something to dig it out again. Whether the more you use it, the flatter it will become, I don't know. But yeah, so you can see where the dies, I don't know if you can, but I can see where the dies have been pushed, but equally I can see that it's already healing. So this is a consumable item, a bit like any cutting plate. It will get worn, so don't be surprised. It's just, you know, one of those things. It's a cutting plate. It's magnetic, and it's lovely, and I'm loving it. So, right, okay, let's get on with this because it shouldn't take that long. So, I just wanted to show you the 3 colours of brushed metallic you get. So this is the one that I've used already. I'm using this one this time. This is, so it's meant to be gold, brass, copper. Definitely copper. I'm thinking more gold, champagne. Certainly if you were using champagne, you could use this with it. But yeah. Right, okay, so I have already cut my pieces, and this is what I mean by I have gutted. I've cut my bigger leaves from the foil from that piece in the middle, and I still had a piece left over because I cut them right at the edge, and so I had this bit left. This uses one of the dies from the set, bear with me, which just embosses lots and lots of stitching, and it's this one. Because of my card is bigger than this, so I have moved it along, and that's fine. So you put it through once and then just put it through again. You don't overlap, you just line it up over in the gap, if you like. Right, okay, so this is going to go on, no, this is going to go on there, this is going to go on there, and then this is all going on top. So this I found was too long for my design, so all I've done is just cut it down a bit because it was sticking off the top of my card, and I don't want it sticking off the top of my card. So we've got one coming in down here. This one's going to go over the top. So let me grab some liquid adhesive, which, oh, is right where I need it, as opposed to where I'm looking. So I'm going to add a bit of adhesive onto this, and then overlap this with this. And then I'm going to add some adhesive here, and then overlap this with this. And I want these stalks to cross, and I will show you why in a moment. And then I'm going to use Seal Plus to stick these down just in case. Just a little extra adhesive is quite useful on a slick surface. You don't need much though. So I'll just pop a little bit down. In fact, that's probably going to be too long, but we'll see. Oh no, that'll do. It'll be fine. And then this one is going to come in here. But as you can see, I've cut the ends off because they were going to get into a bit of a pickle. I've got some of the gold, do we call it twine thread? Anyway, from the Forever Greenery ribbon combo pack. And I'm taking a double piece, need it a little bit longer than that, and just try and tie a bow with it, because you know that's going to work. Now do remember, lots of things to remember at the moment. So this, as I say, is part of the Spot Challenge. If you go to my website, which is linked in the description bar below, you will find there a link to the challenge website. And oh, that's actually worked quicker than I thought it would. And you will find a link to the challenge website. And I'm just going to trim this into my bin because I don't really want little bits of... Oh, well, you see, that's what you shouldn't do. Okay, see, it was going too well. I just chopped the ends off and I didn't want to. I'm going to use a bigger bit. I'm going to use this bit instead. So yes, go to my website and you will find the link to the challenge website there, where you will see all of the inspiration that the design team have come up with. And then, of course, you can take part. And you don't need a website to take part. You do not need to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You don't even need to use Stampin' Up! Products. So don't feel that you have to. Obviously, these are Stampin' Up! Colours, but, you know, as long as it's close, it will be fine. You can also link from Pinterest. So if you, as I say, if you don't have a website, you can link from, oh, did I say Pinterest? I meant Instagram. You do need to read the rules/guidelines. See, the first one of these went so well, this one's bound not to. There we go. So yes, you need to read the rules/guidelines just to make sure that you're doing everything right. So if you're linking from Instagram, you're supposed to use a hashtag, a specific hashtag and that sort of stuff. So do make sure that you don't get disqualified for not following the guidelines. Now, I'm just going to pop a little bit of my liquid adhesive on that knot to stop it moving around, because it will. I'm going to pop that to one side while we do everything else. Now, what I do need to do is my sentiment, and I'm using from the stamp set. Let me show you the stamp set, which I haven't shown you yet. Oh dear. Oops, there we go. So this is the stamp set. So we've got all of these lovely leaves. We've got Hope Changes Everything, which is the one I'm going to use. I thought of you today. Your friendship is something I know I can count on. Hello, thank you. I'm so glad you're in my life. And I'm using, as I say, this one. So, yes, where was I? Yes, so go and have a look at the taking part. I'm going to use gold embossing because we don't have copper anymore. Not that I'm mourning it, but I am. But it's fine. It's still a metallic. So I'm going to just stamp this as close to an edge as I can get it, and as straight as I can get it. and then dabble it in my gold embossing powder. So what else can I say? Oh yes, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Very close to getting 9,000 subscribers, and when I hit big numbers, like, you know, 1,000 and a next 1,000, I do a giveaway. So just bear that in mind. Right, okay, so that's that. Let me grab my heat gun and get that heating up, and grab my cheese board, and then all we need to do is pop everything together. So here we go. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so that's that done. And I'm going to grab my trimmer just to trim this down. Now you could use your mini trimmer if you've got one of the mini guillotines, but I find that when I'm doing very fine trimming and I've only got a small piece of card, I do find that it is easier on my trimmer, because you don't need to worry about holding on to it. So that's that. Let me grab my card base. So here's my card base. So this is half a sheet of Merry Merlot. I will have the measurements over on my website, and I will do North American cardstock as well, because I'm nice like that. So don't worry if you are using North American cardstock. Right, so first thing to do is to stick this to this. So we've got crumb cake, Merry Merlot, and then the brushed copper. Now don't go mad over the stitched bit, because you could end up with your glue squishing through the die cutting. Ask me how I know. Because it is actually just visible there. Such is life. Oh no, I want to put my sentiment on. So I'm going to cut this straight just with my snips, and then I've got this tiny bit of the same foil which has got some tear and tape on the back. I just stick the tear and tape on and then just chop through it, and then you get a little sticker. So let me grab, actually I'm going to use my liquid adhesive. So I want much less than that. Let's spread that out. That's better. Right, so I'm going to pop this down and try and get it sort of straight. Let's go to there. That looks sort of straight. And then this, I'm going to cut the end at a slight angle, and then peel this back. I will peel it back, honest I will. There we go. Oops. I would say try not to bend your foil, because then you get a nasty crease in it. So let's trim that off again, get rid of the piece that I don't want anymore. But yes, if you bend your foil, you are going to get it creased. And then I just want this not lining up at the end. And then just trim that there. And I'm going to use, actually I'll put it on here, a small amount of Seal Plus, just in some strategic places on the back of my Merry Merlot. I'm using this because we're sticking to foil, so I want to make sure that I get a really good adhesive. or adhesion, I suppose I should say, like that. And then this, oops, I can go back to my seal. I mean, they're interchangeable to a degree. Seal Plus is just tougher. So if you're worried about slick surfaces, I would use Seal Plus. And then for this, I'm going to add some liquid adhesive in the middle, just as a sort of belt and braces. Stick this on to my card base, like that. Then this I'm going to stick on with dimensionals, which I have inevitably buried. You don't need a huge number. I tend to use them more to make sure that everything's stuck in place rather than anything else. It's not weight bearing, you know, it's not the whole of the card front, it's just an embellishment that you're sticking on. And then that goes up there. And then our little knot, I'm going to grab a mini glue dot and fold that as much as I can, pick up my bow and then pop that there. So I've stuck my glue dot to the gluey side of my bow, and then that, with a lining obviously, is our finished card. So there we are. We have dimensional backing everywhere. We have our copper version and our gold version. I'll put pictures of both on my website. If you have a preference, I would love to know which one you prefer. And do have a go at the baby wipe technique. It's a fantastic technique. Great way of getting multicoloured stamping, and another way to use your re-inkers. So thank you very much indeed for joining me. Do go and have a look at taking part in the Spot Challenge. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Don't forget, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And if you have any comments, you can leave those below the description bar.